Hello everyone, lovely to have you with me. It's Carol here at Oak House Journals. So I'm going to do assignment number 4 in Margarete Miller's Collage weekly collage challenge 2024 today, and the prompt pieces I've got all off here to one side, so let me quickly go through those before I make a start with what I want to create today. So the first prompt is something related to a religious or secular holiday, so I'm going with Easter and the commercial side of the Easter holidays. So I've got some images here of eggs. This one is slightly smaller in size or scale than the one behind, and then these two here. So I've got these images to use for the first prompt. The second prompt is, let me just move that to one side, ledger paper. So I've got this sheet here of fairly thin French ledger paper. A game or puzzle piece. We have at home here this game which is called Double Bunny, and if I pull them out, effectively all these are dominoes with rabbit or bunny images on them, and you match them up same as you would with dominoes. Now, as much as I would love to use one of these on my page today, these are relatively thick, they're made of plastic, they would make my journal too bulky, and also I would be short of a game piece. So what I've done, if I pop those away and put them to one side, what I've done is I put a few of those bunny dominoes or game pieces on my printer, and I've taken a copy of some of the images, and I'm going to use one of these on my piece today. Something you find in your garage is prompt number 4. Well, in our garage we have another hen house. As some of you will know, we have a small flock of 6 bantams that roam around the garden. They have a hen house outside, but occasionally when one of them gets broody and pregnant, then we need a second hen house, which is our maternity unit, if you will, until the chicks are big enough to be introduced along with mum back into the flock. So as I say, we've got bizarrely we've got another hen house, the maternity unit, in the garage, and it looks almost identical to this one, even down to the colour. But when I was looking for an image of our hen house, I came across this one and I absolutely fell in love with it. Totally impractical in terms of it being white because chickens are mucky little devils, but I love this and how it was decorated and set in amongst a winter scene. So I'm going to use that and probably this image as well. So that's for prompt something you find in the garage, which is prompt number 4. Prompt number 5, a pair of something. I went with a pair of carrots, and I've got 2 different sizes here because I'm not sure which one I'm going to need. And finally, the bonus prompt is a zigzag pattern, so I thought I'd do some stitching. Okay, so as always, I'm going to move everything off to one side. I'm going to put my prompts in front of me there, and I'm going to get started. So I've gone for this ledger paper because it is printed with black lines, and if I'm using this image, I thought the black would pick up the black monochrome look. So I've trimmed my ledger paper to inside the border and I've glued it down just using some Pritt stick. So now I'm going to bring in this. Now, I love this image, but it's too big, so I am going to have to trim it down on this side here. So let's do that. I'm just feeling my way at the moment in terms of size because I do want some of the ledger paper showing on either side, but I don't want to lose too much of this image, and I actually think the tree enhances what I've got going on here. I'm liking that as it is, so I'm going to glue that onto my page. Before I go any further with this one, I'm going to do some footy cutting of these pieces that I've got here, and I'll come back when that's done. I fussy cut the carrots out, and I'm pretty sure, looking at them now that I've cut them out and had a little play on here, that it's the little ones that I'm going to use. So let me pop those just there, and I've cut out a few of the eggs and some of these. And I've also cut out one of these, and this is the one that I chose, And I've left a little bit of the shadowing along the top because I think that will make this stand out a bit better. And now what I thought I would do is use my image here to create a pop of colour in the middle. I'm going to trim it along the bottom here, just where the actual hut starts and the legs finish. And I'm also going to cut a portion away down this right hand edge there. Just that much to start with. I may well go in and cut away a little bit more in a minute. And what I thought I could do is just pop it on top of the white hen house, just to give me some colour. It's too tall up here, so I thought that I could perhaps cut a little portion off the top there and then cut away this right hand corner so that I can still have the tree there. Just going to put a mark here where the tree goes, so that it looks like that. I'm going to bring in this. And I was thinking that this rabbit here could sit where that black hole is there and just be lined up with that. Bring in my carrots. And I thought that I could just have either that across the corner there, or up here. This is too dominant. The place to have it is across that corner there. Let me just see what the bigger carrot looks like. But no, I'm liking the little one better, so I'm going to go with that one on there. So this is how this piece is looking at the moment. I've cut away a corner here so that it sits nicely under the tree. And I have been wondering whether to do the same on this side across here. So I think I'll do that, see what that looks like. So to get the same angle, I've just got a scrap of card here, and I'm just going to pop that on there like that. It's not quite square, this piece of card, so just squaring it off there. Get rid of those two pieces. And then flip this over and put it on this corner. Let's see what this looks like now. I'm still not liking that. What I originally thought was that I would be able to get my other pieces on here and have a pop of colour in the middle, but I'm not liking this green up here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away the roof and see what that looks like. And now I might have an issue with that because this is a different layout on this one, but let me have a look anyway and see what it looks like. I'm going to take away the green down the side here. If I lift the apex of the blue roof up to what would be the apex of the white one there, it doesn't look too bad. And then I can bring in this piece and either have this on the left hand side or the right hand side. I'm going to trim off the black off the top here. This is what it looks like now. I've put I made a mess of cutting the other one up, so I went for another one of these photocopies of the game pieces, and I've put it, as you can see, on the right hand side. What I've done with my carrots is I've chosen the smaller carrots, but I've used the vegetation from the large one and popped it behind the vegetation of the small one, if that makes sense. So effectively what I've done is double up the vegetation. So I'm thinking that, now I'm not going to glue it down yet because my zigzag pattern is going to be black zigzag stitches all the way around this image. Now I absolutely love this image and I thought the carrots might work on there, but I think I really do need a pop of colour on here, and doing this I think will make it work. And what I've also done is I have glued some of my eggs together. A little bit quirky, but what I thought was I could just have them dotted around the bottom here. Now it's a very, very disjointed collage. It's not even a collage, it's a mishmash of images really today, but this is what I'm going with. I don't think I can come up with anything better for this one. Maybe change those eggs around a bit, have those there maybe, kind of something like that, maybe these over here. But again, I can't put these in place until I've done my zigzag stitching, so I'm going to go away and do that now. So here we go, I've just done some rough zigzag stitching around my image in black thread. Just going to flatten down the stitches on the reverse. I'm not bothered about the reverse because these are going to be glued onto other cards, so that won't be seen. And now I'm just going to bring in these pieces and just glue them into place on my piece, and then actually I'm going to call it a day for today. Not too impressed with what I've managed to come up with for this one. I thought it would work better than it has done, but unfortunately it hasn't, so some you win, some you lose. So I'm just matching up my apex up here and with these pieces, and actually there's a little bit of green there that I should have trimmed away, so that's par for the course today, I think. And I've already put a little tiny dab of glue under the carrot vegetation to hold it, so I'm going to put a little bit more on that and onto the back of the carrot themselves. And I'm just going to try and lift up some of this vegetation so that there's a little bit of movement there. It's not too solid on my page. I've already got an egg stuck there. I'm not quite sure how that got stuck, but as I was stitching around I noticed that it had done, so there obviously must have been a little bit of glue underneath it, so I'm just going to pop that on there like that. And these were the other eggs that I've got, so I could have those there. What's the reason I'm putting some here is because there's a bin, or actually it's a chicken feeder or some sort of feeder, and I don't really want too much of that showing, so I'm going to put that there, I think. Maybe these down in the bottom corner down here. Maybe need to have these up here really, I think. Let's just swap those around, see if I like the others better. That works better. Put a bit of glue on the back of these. I'm just going to roughly kind of angle them a little bit so that it takes the eye away from the bin in the background. There we go, everybody. That's my finished piece for today. Not too impressed with it at all. Not really feeling very cohesive. Got a little bit of lift there, so I'm going to try and put my nozzle underneath that and just put a little bit of glue under there just to encourage it to sit. Yeah, as I say, not very impressed with this one at all. Not very cohesive. Just feels like everything is just blobbed on the page, not connected at all. But it is what it is, and unless I can come up with some other way to make it cohesive before tomorrow, in which case I'll show you, it will stay as is. So let me go through the prompts with you, everybody. Something related to a religious or secular holiday. Well, I went with an Easter holiday, and I've chosen Easter eggs, so I've got a little collection down here and down here. Ledger paper was my background paper. A game or puzzle piece, well, I went with this photocopy of one of my double bunny domino pieces here. Something you find in a garage, well, as I explained earlier, are hen houses, and we've got a couple. I've got this blue one layered on top of that lovely white one. A pair of something, well, I've gone for the pair of carrots, although I've got two bunnies here on the game piece, but I didn't want to double up my prompts. And bonus, a zigzag pattern. Well, I'm hoping that my stitching is enough of a zigzag pattern. So thank you for watching, everybody, and please, I hope you'll come and join me for tomorrow's video, which will be assignment number 5. Until tomorrow, everybody, take care. Bye bye now.